April 15, 2021. A new report by the Capitol Police's Inspector General found the police agency had been warned of the potential for violence at the Capitol on January 6th. Also, that lawmakers were targets, but that department leaders overlooked the threats. The findings echo similar failures reported by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security to identify threats before they stormed the Capitol. A Capitol Police Special Event Assessment from just 2 days earlier said Congress was targeted. Due to the tense political environment following the 2020 election, the threat of disruptive actions or violence cannot be ruled out, read the document that was given to Capitol Police 2 days before the breach. The Biden administration will impose a range of retaliatory measures against Russia on Thursday in response to Moscow's alleged election interference, a widespread hacking campaign, and other malign activity. Among other measures, 10 Russian diplomats will be expelled, including some due to allegations that Russia offered to pay bounties to militants in Afghanistan to kill U.S. military service members. Iran's supreme leader on Wednesday dismissed initial offers at talks in Vienna to save Tehran's tattered nuclear deal as not worth looking at, attempting to pressure world leaders after an attack on the country's main nuclear enrichment site. The talks already have been thrown into disarray by a weekend attack on Iran's main Natanz nuclear enrichment site. The attack was suspected to have been carried out by Israel. Tehran retaliated by announcing it would enrich uranium up to 60%. That's higher than it has ever been before, but still lower than weapon-grade levels of 90%.
If you see that today we have announced that we will activate IR-6s in Natanz or that we will increase enrichment to 60%, this is a response to your evilness. You cannot conspire against the people of Iran. You cannot commit crimes in Natanz. We will cut your hand off when you commit a crime. We cut both your hands, one with the IR-6 and one with 60%.
The police officer who fatally shot a young black motorist during a traffic stop in a confrontation that ignited 3 nights of civil unrest was charged with manslaughter on Wednesday, a day after the officer turned in her badge. Dante Wright was pulled over in the Minneapolis suburb of Brooklyn Center on Sunday for what police said was an expired vehicle registration. He then struggled with police and was shot dead by Officer Kim Potter, who drew her handgun instead of a taser in what officials called an accident. George Floyd died of a sudden heart rhythm disturbance as a result of his heart disease, a forensic pathologist testified for the defense Wednesday at former officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial. This contradicts prosecution experts who said Floyd succumbed to a lack of oxygen from the way he was pinned down. Dr. David Fowler, a former Maryland chief medical examiner who is now with a consulting firm, said the fentanyl and methamphetamine in Floyd's system and possibly carbon monoxide poisoning from auto exhaust were contributing factors in the 46-year-old man's death last May.
Mr. Floyd died of a cardiac arrhythmia due to hypertensive atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease during the restraint.
New York will push back its curfew for food and drink establishments an hour to midnight starting Monday as the state continues to relax coronavirus-related restrictions, Governor Andrew Cuomo said. Restaurants had pleaded for an end to the 11 p.m. curfew, saying the pandemic restrictions were hurting their business.
We caution New Yorkers, don't get cocky. The disease is still very much with us. We have to stay smart until COVID is crushed, and it won't be crushed until we get herd immunity, and it won't get herd immunity. We won't get herd immunity until we finish vaccinating everyone.